One of the best locksmiths I've ever met is located. And first, let me introduce you to Rick. Rick is the owner of Rick's Locksmith. And this gentleman will make a key for you out of a blank key that doesn't even look like your key, because he has the ability to machine other kinds of keys into what you need. And I watched him do this with a key that I have been trying to get for 4 years. And for 4 years I couldn't get a duplicate key. And he did, with this little machine, in 20 minutes, he made 2 keys for a lock, 2 locks that were worth $50 for the 2 locks. And he gave me 2 extra sets of keys because 1 set was lost. So I'm gonna, and the keys were 130 pesos per key. That is to make a custom key out of a completely different type of blank. He takes a file, or he mills it down, flattens it with the hammer, grinds it, and he makes a key out of stuff that nobody else even has the key blank. So, how much is the average key?
40 pesos.
40 pesos. So today's project that I gave Rick is I gave him this guard lock, which is bronze, not brass. It's about a $15 lock. And this came from America, and I had no key for the lock at all. I didn't have a key to work with. Rick took the cylinder, lock key cylinder out, and he made 2 keys for this lock, which was worth about 750 pesos minimum. It's an American-made lock. He made 2 keys for this lock for a total of 130 pesos, right? Okay, so I'm gonna say thank you, Rick. I'm gonna give them the location, so I'm gonna walk away from here now. So, Rick is has a small little store, but he's the only locksmith I've ever met in the Philippines. And believe me, I've dealt with locksmiths before. So, salamat for your service.
Salamat.
Okay, now I'm gonna show them where you live, where you are. So, thank you. Okay, Rick, have a nice day. Okay, so if you are in Tagbilaran City, I'm outside Rick's store right here. He's got a little stand that says Rick's Locksmith. He is 1 block. That is McDonald's on the corner of the BQ Mall. You just walk 1 block, and he's right towards the middle to the end of the street right here. If you're not sure where that is, Occidental Enterprises is directly across the street. Occidental Enterprises. And over there is the Bohol Museum. And I have been probably to 20 locksmiths in Tagbilaran to get those special keys made, because the locks had a value of $50 and I only had 1 set. And he made 2 keys in under 20 minutes with his locksmithing skills. So Rick, I'm going to say goodbye again. Salamat. I will put in the description also where you are. Thank you very much. That's the only locksmith in Tagbilaran City. He also can make keys for safes. I asked him that yesterday when I was here, and any kind of a custom key. Even if he doesn't have the blank for your key, he'll just make a key out of another kind of key altogether. He has amazing locksmithing skills. So I wish I was around here. All right, so far today I had my 2 new keys for my $15 lock that I would have had to throw out. Hello, Scott. I spoke with several people on Skype this morning. I went to the hospital and I got a new prescription for the same medication I was taking in November. I saw the same doctor, Dr. Eric. I went to the computer store with my Samsung computer. And my Samsung computer keyboard, he didn't even care to look at the keyboard or test it. That computer keyboard, they have dozens of that Lenovo keyboard problems. So he said there are dozens of computers waiting for a keyboard from Manila. So I would have to leave it there for 1 month. So I need to take my personal files out of that. I also went shopping at the BQ Mall that I have some packages in. I took one pair of sneakers to the repair shop. Yesterday I bought 2 pairs of Sundugo sneakers. Today I brought 1 pair of Sundugo sneakers to the repair shop. And the man was right on the opposite corner of the BQ. He, for 5 or 6 or 7 years, whenever I walk by, if I have bread, there's one man and one man only who always used to say hello to me. If I just bought pan, bread, or rolls, for years I would stop by and give him one. And then, now today I don't have pan or bread, but I stopped by the bakery to give him one anyway, and I gave him my shoes. They're gonna sew the entire shoe, which is worth 2,200 pesos, and it's basically brand new, but the glue just fell off. It's a problem. They discontinued that model. 150 pesos to sew around the entire perimeter of the shoe. He said normally it would be 250, but because he likes me, and I always give him pan, 150. I also am on my way to the NBI, and in addition to those things, I picked up some ibuprofen. In addition to that, I went to 7 drugstores to get 1 prescription of 28 pills fulfilled. 7 drugstores. 1 drugstore had 4 pills, 1 drugstore had 2 pills, 1 drugstore had 10 pills, 1 drugstore had 5 pills, and then 1 drugstore had 1 pill, and then another drugstore had the rest. Maybe 6 drugstores. 6 different drugstores, and I walked more than 1 kilometer to get those pills filled, but that's what you have to do. You have to know where each store is. I also got an unlimited load from my Globe phone called Talk and Text for 20 pesos, so I can call Globe. I spoke with Flywoods this morning for 20 minutes on the phone, and before I did any of that, I got up this morning at 5 o'clock, spoke to a few people on Skype, and then at 7 o'clock, I called up a tricycle driver, told him to pick me up at 7:30. He was right there on time at 7:30. I went to the local hospital. I was there at 7:37. I was number 7 online, and I waited until 10 minutes to 9 to see Dr. Eric. I went over Scott Del Fuego's diagnose and of the edema, and also the fact that it's venous stasis. And he said to me, who made you aware, or who diagnosed you with venous stasis? And I said, Dr. Scott Del Fuego from Chicago. And he said, oh, he's a doctor? I said, yes, sir. He's the head surgeon of Chicago's cancer ward and in the major metropolitan hospital. Of course, I did say that to him because he wanted to know who diagnosed me with venous stasis. And he said, well, that's a good diagnose. So I'll show you what he gave me. He gave me, he said to tell Dr. Del Fuego he thinks that he's correct, number 1. And number 2, all right, hold on a minute. Number 2, He gave me a paper to get an AV scan, an ultrasound scan, along with my medicine. So I'm gonna go to. I have to go to 3 different hospitals because of the 6 drugstores I went to, no one knows which hospital can do an ultrasound. Six drugstores, and each drugstore recommended a different hospital for the ultrasound. And when I asked them directly, "Are you sure that this hospital does an ultrasound?" the answer was no, sir. I said, "Well, I asked you which hospital to go to." "Yes, sir." You try this hospital." I said, "No, I want to know for sure. Do you know?" "No, sir." I said, "Well, then why are you sending me to a hospital that's a kilometer away?" No answer. So, we wanted you to know that Dr. Scott Del Fuego was on the ball there. Very good locksmith. No grass growing underneath Michael's feet. Before 10 a.m., he does more than most men do all day. That's a smart play, the Venus Duplex Ultrasound. So that's my next stop. And then my last stop for the day will be to the NBI. And then at 4 o'clock, I have to come and pick up my sneakers. So that's my day. That was quite amount of stuff. I have other things on the list. But those things are on the list to do behind the ICM Mall. And I don't think I'm going to head to the ICM Mall today, because I will tell you this. A store I used to have chicken in was 15 pesos for a piece of chicken, fried chicken, 1 piece of fried chicken. Today I went into the same store, 35 pesos, 35 pesos. It went up 130%. 35 pesos for the same piece of fried chicken I got for 15 pesos before the storm. I don't know how they justify going from 15 to 35 pesos, but that's 70 cents for a piece, a small piece of fried chicken. That's $1.20 for a small piece of fried chicken. You can buy an entire chicken for $1.65, uncooked, of course, but that was out of the question. So my next stop is the hospital. So I'm gonna say goodbye. I just want you to know that is McDonald's at the BQ Mall, and that's about 145 feet from me. And if you just go this way 100 feet is the Locksmith, Rick's Locksmith. So thank you, Dr. Scott Del Fuego. I'm off hospital searching. All right, thanks everybody. Have a great day. And God day to everybody from Rabbi Drew Barker in the Philippines, baby. Oy vey and shalom from Michael Fazio in the Philippines. Now we're going to go take care of a small mushroom growth that we want removed from the Philippines. A little fungus we want removed from the Philippines is my next batch of paperwork. I'm Big Permy from the Philippines, baby. Bye-bye for now. That's right. Oy vey and shalom from Rabbi Drew Barker in the Philippines, baby. Oy vey.